its border with Malaysia. Authorities have placed barbed wire and checkpoints around several southern villages along the border. At least 9 villages in Tak Bai district in the country's far southern Noratiwat province are under lockdown. That's where the first cases of the variant were detected, which authorities say entered the country as a result of illegal border crossings. The Thai Health Ministry says the strain found in Tak Bai is similar to those found in Malaysia. So far, 81 cases of the variant have been detected. Malaysia, meanwhile, has reported 6,509 new COVID-19 cases. It's a slight dip from yesterday's highest daily jump in infections at nearly 7,000. The country's total tally now stands at more than 518,000. The state of Selangor remains the hardest hit, followed by Sarawak, Kuala Lumpur and Johor. The country is battling another resurgence of cases with a record number of casualties in recent days. In the latest move to curb the spread of the virus, Malaysia has introduced stricter measures instead of implementing a full lockdown like last year. Starting tomorrow, 80% of the country's public service staff and 40% of people in the private sector must work from home. This will affect about 8 million workers in the country. High-risk places will be shut immediately, and usage of public transportation will be limited to 50% capacity. Shoppers can only spend a maximum of 2 hours in retail premises, including shopping malls. Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin earlier said that the government decided not to impose a complete lockdown because it is trying to strike a balance between protecting lives and livelihoods. Singapore has reported 24 new community COVID-19 cases, including 2 unlinked infections. 22 of them are linked to previous cases. A dozen had already been quarantined and 10 were detected through surveillance. In all, there are 36 new infections. There are a dozen imported ones. 5 are returning Singaporeans or permanent residents. All of them have been placed on stay-home notice or isolated upon arrival. The national tally is at 61,860. Changi Airport will designate areas where arriving passengers come into contact with staff as zones that require the highest level of protection for workers. It's rolling out a new zoning concept based on risk exposure, with the airport now Singapore's largest community cluster. Additionally, passengers from the highest risk countries will be served from a dedicated facility in Terminal 2, where operations are currently suspended. In arrival areas, all staff, including security personnel, will wear a full set of personal protective equipment. They'll also be given their own areas to rest and eat. The airport is looking to deploy fully vaccinated staff here, as well as younger workers. It's also working towards daily rapid non-invasive testing of staff in this zone. Portable air purifiers are also installed at key areas, on top of existing systems that allow a complete change of air every 6 to 10 minutes in general areas. While passengers formerly moved through the transit halls freely, arriving and departing passengers will now be separated to prevent intermingling. The airport says such transient interactions were formerly considered lower risk, but this is no longer the case with the emergence of the B1617 variant.
Something new has emerged with this variant, and the risk profile fundamentally shifted for our passenger operations. It has penetrated our defenses and have caused a community outbreak. We are working to reinvent our operational processes and operating model so that we can enhance the safety protocol by June 13, so that we can decisively segment and ring-fence the entire zone serving our arrival passengers.
Well, the airport had said last week it will close its passenger terminals and dual Changi Airport to members of the public to prepare workers for new operating procedures. Now, at the same time, Singapore has approved a locally developed breath test that can detect COVID-19 within a minute. It's the first such test to receive provisional approval from the Health Sciences Authority. The developer, Breathonics, is working with the Health Ministry to trial the technology on incoming travellers at one of Singapore's land checkpoints. The new test will be deployed alongside compulsory antigen rapid tests to screen arrivals. It works by detecting volatile organic compounds in a person's breath. The software will analyze the compounds and see if there are differences from what's usually found in a healthy person. Non-medical staff can be trained to carry out the test. People who test positive for COVID-19 will need to take a PCR swab test for confirmation. Your Asia Business Update is coming up next with Eugenia Lim, including crypto miners hit pause on operations in China as Beijing scrutinizes the industry. And later, a probe into the cause of the deadly cable car crash in northern Italy.
The internet, it's contributing to global carbon emissions.
This is like the iPhone of 1902.
We collect information from the landscape.
She's my wife, she is dying, please help.
It's majestic.
I finally made it to the realm of the gods.
What would recipes from 100 years ago actually taste like?
Hello, model.
Sabi ito mga sakila din taon.
These animals can carry infectious diseases.
But what if we could go wherever we wanted without leaving the house?
They should never have really stayed on board.
Every day, the financial world goes through dramatic rise and falls. We'll track the biggest market movers and show you where the opportunities lie. Get the experts' take on the performance of key indices. Plus all the analysis to help you understand forces driving global economies. The daily business news you need. Only on CNA. This segment is brought to you by Xeon Corporation.
They treat me like a snake.
तो एक के चलती हजारों आदमी भूखे मर जाते हैं।
मैं तो सोचता था कि मैं कहीं मम्मी को मैं बहुत बोलता रहा, मम्मी मुझे कुछ अच्छा पॉइजन दे दो कि मैं मर जाऊं।
Oh my God, they've been blasting the wrecks.
A brand new season of Undercover Asia.
There was a huge manhunt for this man.
Podcast producer Rovik Roberts investigates a mysterious murder from the past.
This is a spicy case. Spicy.
To understand how Singapore turned from a city of vice.
Singapore was a Chicago of the East. Clashes and shootings were rampant.
Into one of the safest in the world.
When the killing started, holy smoke, it was a game changer.
Into the Vault 3, Wednesday on CNA.
In business news, cryptocurrency mining operators are suspending their China operations. That's after Beijing stepped up its efforts to crack down on Bitcoin mining and trading, sending digital currencies tumbling. Crypto trading platform Huobi has pulled back some of its services in several countries and suspended its miner hosting services in China. Huobi says it is scaling back services due to dynamic changes in the market and in a bid to protect investors. It's suspending services for new users in mainland China. BTC TOP, a crypto mining pool, says that in the future, it will mainly conduct crypto mining business in North America. Last Friday, China's Vice Premier Liu He announced more regulation on mining and the trading of cryptos. He's the most senior Chinese official to publicly call for scrutiny of these assets, with concerns over the vast amounts of energy needed for mining and the use of cryptos in illegal activities. It's also the first time with a virtual currency, mining has been targeted. Now, China accounts for as much as 70% of the world's crypto supply. The comments followed China's earlier move to ban banks from providing crypto-related services. It's been trying to curb the use of digital currencies and promote a state-backed digital yuan. China is not alone. Governments and financial regulators worldwide are grappling with whether and how they should regulate the crypto industry. The U.S. Treasury also announced last week new tax reporting rules for digital coins.